everyone. Welcome to this episode of the Joyful Life Guide. I am coming to you live today from South Africa. I'm a long way from home. I've been here for various reasons, one of which is filming my weekly workshops for my monthly members. If you don't know about my monthly membership, it's quite exciting. It's weekly live workshops with me on transformative life topics from incredible locations all over the world. It's packed with life-changing stuff. And who doesn't want to travel at the same time as they change their life, right? Here in South Africa, I've done a 4-part workshop on how to make money love you. I'm really proud of it. You guys are going to love it. Part 1 is diving into our past relationship with money and limited beliefs around it. Part 2 is entering into your new partnership with money moving forward. Part 3 is how to expand your energetic capacity to allow money to flow in. And part 4 is monetizing your skills and talents. It's really good stuff. You don't want to miss it. And next, I will be in London with a live workshop on how to change the way others treat you. So become a monthly member now. It's all on lucywalsh.com. So before we get into our incredible guest today, I do have our angel cards. So everybody close your eyes. Bring our energy together. This is our shared vibe all over the world, wherever you are connected, and your shared angel card is contentment. The picture is an angel kneeling in a flower garden. Contentment. I hope you are content wherever you are. Contentment has really risen to the surface in my life lately as like the true flex. The true superpower, the true way to live. There's nothing more valuable than contentment. So that's really funny we got it today because I've been thinking of it a lot lately. Anything that messes with your contentment has got to go. So maybe for today, notice where you're content and where you're not content. Maybe it's time to make a list of things that mess with your contentment. Maybe it's time to think about taking the trash out. That's your joy work for this week. And moving into more of what does bring you contentment, right? And it's the little things in life, isn't it? Yeah, those are the true flexes. When we're young, we think it's all the flashy stuff, but as you get older, you realize that if you don't have contentment, you don't have quality of life, and that's not the vibe. Okay, so I am so excited for our guest today, stand-up comedian Heather Shaw, whose hot and unfiltered takes on pop culture, politics, and everything in between have gained her a massive following on social media. That's where I first discovered her comedy and became a fan, and I am now happy to call her my friend. If you have not discovered her comedy yet, you are in for a treat. And I've got all her info in the show notes. Oh my gosh, you guys, she is wickedly funny and has a thing or two to say about how to live a joyful life. Welcome to the show, Heather Shaw. Okay. I'm the host.
I'm gay.
I guess I have to. Okay, we're gay. My beautiful friend Heather Shaw, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thanks for having me, Lucy.
Where are you today?
I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. Get me out of here. But I'm going to LA. I'll be in LA this weekend. Are you in LA?
Yes.
This weekend?
Yes,
girl. We got to hang out.
What are you doing? Where are you staying? You know you can always stay with me and Will.
Oh, no. Here we go. We have a little cuddle party?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be doing a show Saturday if you're around. And then don't get tickets to that if you're around.
Oh, I'm getting tickets. No,
yes.
I'm a paying customer.
Lucy, I went to see the Eagles at the Sphere for free. You're going to take these free tickets from me.
And you gave me the most beautiful gift basket afterwards.
Yeah.
So we're even.
Well, it's the least I could do. But then I'm hanging out Sunday if you're around too.
Well, we're going to keep that private to ourselves. Nobody else needs to know where we'll be on Sunday.
Yeah.
But, all right, Heather, I'm really, really excited that you said yes to being on my podcast. because I am just so crazy about you and what you do. And that's how we met, was that I discovered you on social media, which millions of people have. You've got 2.8 million followers on your TikTok. You've got 80,000 on YouTube, almost 1 million on Instagram. You've got your touring, all kinds of other things. You've got your own podcast. We're going to get into all of it today. I want to just kind of tell people how we met. It's kind of a funny, weird thing.
Yeah, it is, because there was miscommunication on my end. You came to, what was it? Laugh Factory? No.
It
Improv?
was that place
Hollywood
on
Improv?
Melrose. Yeah, it was the Hollywood Improv.
Yeah, Hollywood Improv. I was in the small room there.
Before that, there was a whole saga going on because I had been following you for a while. This was like last year.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just got really into what you were doing. And it's like I wasn't watching news. I was like looking to you for my news updates. You really get into all different kinds of realms. And what I like about what you do is that you don't reveal your point of view on anything. Like you really just lay it out for both sides and you keep a very neutral point of view.
Yeah.
And it becomes really fun for me when I'm watching your stuff to like try to figure out how you feel about it. Let's say it's like the election or whatever. And sometimes you'll let a little thought slip where I'm like, oh, that's the side she's on. But then you'll like say something that contradicts it. And I love that. I'm wondering if that was like a conscious choice for you or if that's just naturally how you approach things.
Yeah, I think it's naturally, I just really am like, whatever, I love to roast people, and I think when it comes to politics, especially, both sides are insane. Both sides are hilarious.
I know.
There's not, you know what I mean? So it's really easy to make fun of both sides, all sides. So it's not like I won't shy away from making fun of one side because I don't want to, you know, I'm just like, whatever's funny, whatever's happening, that's being made fun of. So it's never conscious. I'm never doing it like as a strategy to be like, I don't want to alienate anybody. It's just like, if something is laughable that is happening, whether it's Joe Biden shitting his pants or, you know, Trump saying whatever he says, I'm going to make fun of it. Yeah. And, you know, people are so polarized that sometimes they can't see past that to see that it is funny, but that's on them. Yeah. But it's never a strategy. It's just like, you know, I roast everything. I make fun of everything.
The debate is tonight. It's happening. Holy shit. It'll be prosecutor versus felon. This is a fun fucking episode of Law and Order, SVU, because of Trump. Anything will be better than the last debate with Trump and Biden. That was just, I mean, remember they were just talking about their golf swings at some point? I don't think that's going to happen here. I think Kamala is just going to be, you know, kind of keeping the cackles to a shout. She's not going to be cackling a bunch. No cackling at this debate. No. None of that. Trump will probably just be confused. He's like, are you brown? Are you black? You're a bitch. They're trying to make this debate as boring as possible. There's no audience. What is this? A taping of... This is like Judge Judy has an audience. Why can't we have an audience for this? Judy gets an audience and they don't? The mics are going to be muted. We're not going to be able to hear what Trump mumbles under his breath. And you know he's saying some funny shit. Your husband is gay. He's so gay. I can hear him saying that. You know, that's what he's probably... Your husband's so gay. He's so... If I was a betting woman, and I am, I would bet on Harris. Just because she's got the prosecutor blood, you know? She's gonna dog walk him, probably. But Trump's fun. He's got the comedian in him. So it should be good to see. All right, see ya.
Have you always... I mean, obviously, you've always been that way since you were little. What did you do with that before there was social media?
I just made fun of people, like, would just do it in person. I'd have to just...
Would you keep it in your head, or would you, like, saying it to people?
It'd be around friends. A lot of times, if I was, like, you know, observing something that would happen, I'd say it around people. Some people would be like, you're judgy. And I'm like, no, it's just funny. I noticed things that were happening, and people, a lot of times, if they're not comics or, you know, they think it's like, oh, why would you point that out? But it's like, hello, it's hilarious. So now I have an outlet for it where people appreciate it. It's nice.
I think I'm so grateful that a really interesting and brilliant mind like yours has the outlet of social media, because it's good for you.
God.
It's like you have a place to put it, you know.
I know I'd be locked up by now, I'm sure.
Seriously.
There was a social media.
Yeah. So I came across what you were doing and I started writing you on Instagram because I have this stupid habit of just like reaching out to people that inspire me. And
good.
Sometimes they get back to me, but you weren't getting back to me.
I know, I'm sorry.
And I saw it staying unread. And so I went on your website and found that you were doing a show in LA. And I made my friend Lily come with me, who's also the name of your fiance. Name. Yeah. And I was like, you got to come with me to this show and you got to stand with me afterwards because I'm going to try to talk to her. She was like, okay, I'm here for it.
I'm so glad you did. Here, can I tell you my miscommunication on my end?
Yeah.
You said, hi, I'm Lucy Walsh. We've been DMing. And I said, have we?
I did not say we've been DMing.
No, you haven't. You didn't say that. But you said something about like, you probably, whatever. But you were like, and then in passing, it wasn't like the first thing you said, but as we were talking, you were like, my dad is Joe Walsh from the Eagles, if you'd ever want to come see the Eagles. And in my head, because I'm such a lesbian, I thought your dad was a coach or a coordinator on the Philadelphia Eagles.
Everybody thinks that.
When you say the Eagles,
people think
I don't know why my mind doesn't
team.
go there, because I love the Eagles music, but I was just like, I don't know the names of the, other than like Henley maybe, but... And then I was walking away talking to him, and I'm like, I think her dad's like an offensive coordinator for the Eagles. And he's like, Walsh, you dummy. That's the goddamn guitarist, the legendary guitarist. So
did you just think I was hitting on you?
No, I never think anybody's hitting on me. I'm like, are you a seeing person? I don't think people are hitting on me. I don't have that in me. I don't think I'm hot. I don't think...
I have that too.
Yeah, it's better to live that way than to be like, did you see the way that Trader Joe's cashier talked to me?
Yeah.
It's their job.
I never think people would ever hit on me. I'm like, why would they ever?
It's a good way to live, because then you don't have to deal with flirting, like accidental flirting, because I'm never I'm just talking to people.
Yeah.
If they think that's flirting, that's on them. But I'm never like,
It's weird. That's a whole conversation. That goes really deep, because it's like, as women... I think I can say it when I was younger, like, I didn't know how to say no. Like, I didn't know how to have boundaries. And so it was either I'm going to have sex with you or get away from me.
Yeah.
And so, like, growing into an adult, it's been hard for me to, like, allow a man's attention if I know I'm not going to reciprocate.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, it makes you uncomfy, because they make it uncomfy.
Yeah, so I kind of do
that. Guys make it uncomfy.
I kind of just like wear turtlenecks and like shut myself off from.
You're in a nun outfit. You wear nun outfits.
Yeah,
when you go out.
Totally.
I'm gonna be that in the future. Yeah, don't look at my boobs. They're not real. Yeah.
Anyway, well, that is kind of embarrassing that I mentioned my dad.
No, it's not, because you were just trying to invite me to a show. It wasn't like you were like, do you know who I am? I was just saying we'd love to invite you to a show, which I thought, so I was like, no way, we could actually go see the Eagles at the Sphere. You could, I mean, you were so nice. And not, sometimes in meet and greets, you get people that are like one bad day away from a psych ward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was a breath of fresh air to talk to somebody that was all there.
Yeah, well, yeah, so then we did go to Vegas, and we had a fabulous time.
Yes, it was awesome.
And I got to meet your wonderful dad.
Mm-hmm. My dad, he's so boring. I love him.
And you gambled.
He's a good dad. Yep. Oh, yeah, Will taught me how to play roulette.
That's right.
I love roulette now because of Will. Makes sense to me.
And
you got yelled at to have my phone out.
You got yelled at. Yeah, we almost got kicked out of the casino.
Yep.
And,
first sober person we kicked out of the casino.
And I got to spend time with your beautiful fiance, Lily.
She's the best. She loves you.
Yeah.
We love you. Yeah, she's the best.
And it was just like a really lovely couple days together that, I don't know, it felt like we were old friends.
I know. It was really nice. And it was very generous of you. That speaks volumes about the person you are, It was very generous to be like, yeah, just come see the Eagles at the Sphere and hang out with us, and
It's interesting. I don't do that I don't do that like very often because everybody wants tickets all the time.
Oh, yeah, I bet. I can't imagine.
But I really feel that, I don't know how it all comes together. How do you feel about like things being meant to be? Do you think you believe in that or no?
Yeah, a bit, which is, I don't know if that's white privilege. Because, because I always am like, yeah, they just happen as they're supposed to be. But then I think of kids with cancer, and then I'm like, well, maybe not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, there's homeless people addicted to fentanyl. Maybe not.
I agree.
Maybe that's just my white privilege speaking. But
I see what you're saying.
Maybe everybody's on their own path,
Yeah, I think it just I think we just don't know. I think we just don't understand the true nature of existence and birth and death and
universe,
life and the universe and God and all of it. And I think we just try to understand it in our small human way, and it doesn't look
it
doesn't look fair to us.
Right. Sometimes I'll just think, if I see somebody that's had a really hard life, I just think maybe in their past life they were really awful. But I think that's just trying to rationalize.
I know it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just a way to rationalize why do I get to be born in this life, and why do others get to be born in poverty or abuse or all these things.
I know, but I still kind of believe it. Like somebody gave me an example once. If for anybody who believes in past lives, but if you don't, just whatever.
I kind of do.
But I do, and somebody explained it to me. I was saying my friend, I was complaining about a friend, and I was like, she's not introspective. She's not really on a spiritual path, and she's just not really, she doesn't question things. She just likes to take it easy, And I was being judgy about that. And she just wants no conflict. And then somebody said to me, yeah, but you don't know. What if her previous life, she was an army general who marched 100 men to their death.
Right.
And so this time around, she just wants to chill.
It's kind of, you've heard of soul contracts.
Yeah.
The super spiritual people, which, is they sign up for a certain life and for certain lessons, and they agree to it. And I think that's really interesting. It's something that it's I used to be atheist, and then I realized being atheist is the same as believing in God, because it's very definitive.
Yeah.
To say nothing exists is just as dumb as saying God exists, or, because you don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know. So agnosticism for me is where it's at, and spirituality is fun, and I like it.
Yeah, but I think what I'm trying to say here is I definitely have always felt some connection to you that I don't fully understand. And then, but the thing that made me say all this just now is Lily, your fiance's reaction at the Eagles show was so intense because it was a tie with her father. Mm-hmm. And she had such an emotional experience that night that I thought, oh, this was meant to happen in some weird way.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's huge.
It was very full circle for her.
It all just works out like that. Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, it is really weird. Yeah, who knows? Maybe your dad helped orchestrate that, or I don't know. It's very, it made a lot of sense.
Maybe her dad was using me as a pawn to get to you. Yeah. To get her to the show.
Yeah. He's like, fine, have Lucy look at Heather's videos.
I honestly believe that about life. And I really notice that all the time in my life, those synchronicities. And I try to just follow the signs in a way. And it it just leads me into situations of life experience. Do you pay attention to that in your life?
Yeah, a little. I'm much more intuitive than anything. So it's really just, if it feels right. I've really just always I've always listened to my intuition. It's never led me the wrong way.
Yeah.
When I don't listen to my intuition is when I get in trouble. So, I just kind of go where I'm like, okay, this feels right.
Yeah, exactly.
Even silly things, hopping on TikTok. And I knew, if I got on TikTok during COVID and talked about being Jim Carrey's daughter, then it would shoot up and help me. in my career.
And that was an intuitive
yes.
guidance that...
Yeah, I was just like, that's going to be an easy way to just introduce myself social media-wise.
Wow. And what happened?
It worked immediately. First video I posted got viral.
Really?
So, and then I had to walk it back because I didn't want to get sued.
Right.
Yeah, claiming to be somebody's daughter that he dropped off.
I did not know you were claiming to be his daughter.
Well, that was the first video. I was just like, please, somebody find my dad.
Got it.
And people really believed it.
So it was a joke.
Right. TikTok doesn't know what that is.
Right.
Everything you say on there.
Neither do people, apparently.
Yeah.
In 2025.
I know. Yeah. Seriously. The amount of people who take what I say seriously all the time. Even though my account name is Heather Shaw, I was kidding. I thought that would be very blatant and obvious.
Yeah. I mean, what else can you say? You're laying
like,
it
what do you
out
mean
for
you
it.
have a husband? I'm like, can't I joke anymore?
All right,
I love my children.
I'm gonna walk it back. So, Miss Heather Shaw, where were you born?
Born in Rochester, New York, basically almost Canada.
And how was that?
It was fun. It was a good childhood. I was only there until 8th grade. So it was truly my childhood was up there. Good childhood. Went back as an adult. Kind of a trashy city. Didn't realize it at the time because I was a kid.
Right, yeah.
Kind of trashy. And I was like, this is where I'm from?
Kids don't recognize trash.
No, we're just like
we're like, okay,
fun.
This is normal.
Yeah. Playing in the snow and a park is a park. Even, we don't see the syringe needles on the floor.
That's right.
But yeah, going back as an adult. And plus it's just crappy. The weather in the winter is awful. I mean, you're basically up in Canada. It's so far north.
It's so cold.
It's more north than Toronto.
How did you... How do you live in that cold?
Because I was a kid. I didn't have to drive. All I had to do was sled. So it was fun.
Gosh.
As an adult going up there, it's like, God.
Unbearable. Like, you can't function.
I understand why my parents left. Yeah.
Yeah. Why did they go there in the first place?
There's one was born there and never left, like a sad loser. Get out of your hometowns. I can't believe my dad did that till his 30s.
Get out of your hometown.
Can we swear on this thing? Get the fuck out of your home.
Yes, we can swear.
Okay, good.
Swearing is an important part of living a joyful life, which is what this podcast is all about.
I agree.
How does one live a joyful life? Swearing is a big part of that.
Yeah. I drop the C word once a day.
Listen, at least if you move back to your hometown, at least go out and explore. Like before that.
At least you can say you did. Yeah.
At least you can get some perspective.
People live in New York City. They go back home to Idaho. They start a family. It's fine. But to never leave Idaho, that's an issue. I'm calling the cops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. How are you going to know anything? That's why people are kind of closed-minded in these hometowns. They don't know they don't meet people in different lives.
Yeah. Well, now that I've completely trashed your parent, I'm sorry.
They don't care. They think. They're fine. They're on a beach right now. They're good.
Are they?
Mm-hmm. They're retired on a beach. Nothing can get to them.
Well... I'm really...
Boomers? Retired boomers? Oh, they're living the dream.
They're loving
I wish I was a retired boomer.
They're loving
it. They have everything.
Did you have siblings growing up there?
Yeah. All of us are gay.
Yeah.
That's my favorite fun fact about us.
Yeah, can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah. So, older sister, gay.
Yeah.
Younger brother, gay.
Right.
Love it.
Who was gay first?
My sister, she was raging.
Just because she was older, or did she make it apparent earlier?
She's 8 years older than me. So, like, when she was, like, coming out when she was, like, 14, 15, 16, and it was in the 90s, so it wasn't, like, it was different to be out like she was. But she never, I remember my mom joined PFLAG, which I don't even know if that's around anymore. It was Parents and Friends of Lesbian and Gays.
Wow.
It was, like, a support group because it was so... 95, 96 was like, it was like you had to be like, oh, I know a gay person, right. But my parents they've never been weird about it. I mean, that's the one thing I will say, because,
that's
especially
amazing.
in the 90s and stuff.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and then they had 3, just kept coming.
Well, because the souls heard that it was safe to be with these parents, so they just kept being born into the family.
Like, feed these
Hey,
parents.
These people don't care if we're gay. Go to them. Go to them.
Yeah. They don't give a shit.
So
and my brother's 2 years younger,
so if you were 8 years younger than your sister and she came out when she was 14, were you aware of that? Did you understand it?
Yeah, I think by like 8. Because when she was 16, I was 8, I think. And yeah, I think by then I knew. And she like shaved her head. She did all the like Ani DeFranco things.
Did it help you? Did it help you personally?
Yeah, because it was never a big deal. It was never, there was no stigma to it.
Right.
You know, I saw her doing it. And then my brother was just gay straight from the womb.
Really?
That man was gay. So it was just kind of just waiting for him to come out. By the time he was 7, I was like, give us 7 more years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she loved show tunes and cooking, all the gay things.
All the gay things.
If your son likes show tunes and cooking, Mama, you got a gay on your hands.
What's his favorite show tune?
God, I don't know. Probably Chicago, Rent, something with, what's the Wicked one? Wicked?
The Wicked one? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, Wicked. Have you seen it?
I don't like musicals.
Do you like musicals?
I saw Wicked. I don't like musicals because what do you mean everybody knows the song?
Right.
It takes me out of it.
I know.
Everybody knows this dance and song?
Will agrees, yeah.
Oh, he's like that too?
Oh, he hates musicals. They infuriate him.
And that sing-talking, it's just too gay for me.
It goes on too long.
Wicked, I enjoyed the movie, but it had...
Yeah. Sometimes the songs...
every 3 minutes.
Yeah. Sometimes the songs go on way too long, and even Les Mis, which is my favorite musical, the second act is totally unnecessary.
Really?
It's just too much. We just don't need it.
Did you like Anne Hathaway in it?
I did.
Do you like that one? That one's good. I would watch that. Maybe I'll watch it.
Yeah, that's a good kind of like cliff notes of Les Mis because they just used the good parts.
Good.
But I love musicals. Does Lily like musicals?
Yeah, she's not super into them, but like she enjoys them if she were to watch them. I don't think she seeks them out, but if they were presented to her, she'd be like, yeah. But she's certainly not singing like, Streisand and like, so we're both pretty.
Do you sing at home? Is there music in the house when you two are home together?
Yeah, we like music. Lily has a good voice. She can sing. I cannot sing. Really? I don't pretend to sing. But we like listening to a bunch of stuff. Older music, Fiona Apple. I love Fiona Apple.
Me too. Oh my God.
She loves Ariana Grande. She loves. So I know a lot about Ariana Grande's music, which I'm okay with. I
have a good Fiona Apple story.
What? Can you say here?
Yeah. Once I was at a club called Largo in LA.
I want to go to Largo so bad.
Have you not?
She used to go there with John Bryan all the time.
Yeah.
No, I've never been.
We should go.
She wrote a song called Largo.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, so I was there. It was so funny. Another time we were there and I was watching John Bryan and he pulled my dad up on stage to play with him, and my dad didn't understand how cool John Bryan was, and I was like, Dad, I need to brief you because you're not taking this seriously enough. This is John Bryan. But Fiona was at Largo and I was there, and the bathroom there is really tiny. It's like you have to move around each other to get in and out of this one stall. And it was just her and I.
Shut up.
And I was wearing these gold shoes. And they were Gwen Stefani, like Lamb or whatever her clothing company is. And she said to me, I like your shoes. And I looked down and hers were like this ratty old pair. And I said, thanks, I like your shoes. And she said, I stole them in 7th grade. And I said, cool. And then
oh my God.
Left. That was it.
So cool.
We didn't say anything else to each other.
Is she tiny?
Yeah.
Is she short?
Yeah, she's tiny, yeah.
She seems tiny.
Yeah.
Like you put her in your pocket.
Do you love Fiona Apple?
That's my number one favorite artist.
But in a crush way?
No. She's the people I like that I look up to they're people that I like. I've surmised I probably wouldn't vibe with in real life. Like Fiona Apple wouldn't think I'm funny. She would think I was mean.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like I wouldn't want to meet like Kathy Griffin. I've met, and it's great because we're on the same wavelength of comic. But like the people I really enjoy, Fiona Apple, Ani DeFranco. I mean, these people would think I was not funny. I think that Fiona would be like, "You're just mean," you know. So I probably never want to meet her, but that's really cool.
Who are your other favorite musicians?
I really like my top three have always been Fiona Apple, Elliott Smith. Love him.
Yeah.
Ani DeFranco, I like Big Thief, the band.
Did your parents have a lot of music in the house when you were little?
Yeah, my mom was basically a walking Lilith fair.
Right, yeah.
Everybody you'd hear at Lilith, that's how I got into Fiona. I mean, it was like Melissa Etheridge, Alanis Morissette was huge.
Oh, yeah.
Sarah McLachlan, that's snooze fest.
Yeah.
And then my dad was like Beatles, Eagles, you know, all the Lead. You know, not so much Pink Floyd because my dad wasn't into drugs.
So you got a good music education.
Yeah, I did. Thank God. I feel bad for people whose parents listen to like Benson Boone. Can you imagine that, growing up listening to Benson Boone? I feel bad for those children right now.
Now there's a whole new generation of children that are raised on Benson Boone and like,
Oof.
I don't even know.
Meghan Trainor.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it's imperative to listen to good music growing up.
Yeah.
I'm sure you had some good music.
Yes, I did.
Or were you like, I fucking hate the Eagles?
No. I used to say I hated the Eagles at school because I was embarrassed of the attention. So I'd be like, ugh, they're the worst band ever.
They write the worst songs. They're not classics.
Yeah. It's so sad. I don't know why I did that. I just didn't.
It's what we do with our parents.
I was trying, you know what I was trying to do? I was trying to like bring myself down and not be better than anyone else because I wanted to fit in and I didn't want kids to think that I like was cooler than them. So
you wanted to be accepted.
Yeah, so I would always pretend like, oh, it's the worst.
Yeah. Milli Vanilli's better.
Yeah. It's so weird what we do to try to be accepted, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to fit in. The point is to stand out.
Right. I mean, it's weird that we're now in professions where it's like standing out. But when you were younger, how did that bode for you? Like, what did trying to fit in look like for you?
It just wasn't an option. I was always a freak.
Really?
I could get along. Yeah, I could get along with anybody, but you know, I just kind of always did my own thing. So I never really wanted to fit in. I really didn't like authority. My school was small enough that it wasn't like popular people and nerds or outcasts. It was just kind of, we all mingled. So maybe that helped with it.
Well, there were only like 45 people at your school.
Literally. It's really tiny and it's really stupid. I just more so was, again, with my comedian brain, I was always just in my head making fun of, not putting down anybody, but just, you know, like the trends and the popular kids doing the popular things. I just was always like, I want no part of that. And I was always the one making jokes and stuff. People knew to go to me to laugh. But I had no interest in fitting in that way. I was more interested if I could get a laugh out of somebody, or to me, that was way more important. So I was always, you know, trying to make people laugh.
Wow.
But I did not care about fitting in. Because everybody that fit in was so boring.
It's crazy to think back. I had a very painful time with that. I admire what you're saying. I wish that I could tell my younger self to see it that way.
Yeah.
I remember like 90210 was everything when I was in high school. Every Wednesday was 90210 day. And all the girls would wear a white shirt and blue jeans.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't allowed to watch television, so I never saw the show, but I'd still wear the outfit and pretend, and I'd pretend like I knew what was going on.
That's just because you want to relate to people.
Oh, I know, but it's such a waste of time.
I know.
We just waste time. It is fair, and bless my younger self, but I think we waste so much life energy trying to fit in.
Yeah, and also, like, fit in with who?
That's what I was just going to say. Fit in with what? Like, what do you... Who's the thing?
You want them? You want them? Those people?
Yeah.
It reminds me when I get hate comments. Somebody recently asked me how do I deal with people who leave shitty comments on my stuff? And I'm like, I always just go look at their profile and look at their picture. And I never respect that person. How can somebody I don't respect hurt me? And they were like, oh, wow, that's true. I'm like, yeah, just look at the loser who's leaving the comment and you'll feel better. It's never somebody that you admire. It's not somebody you look up to that's like, you suck. It's just somebody that sucks.
Yeah, you're so right.
And somebody, if you saw at a gas station, you'd be like, oh my God, get that person away from me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, who cares? I hope they don't like me. Please, stay away.
Yeah, I would be worried if you did like me.
Yeah, I'd be very concerned. The guy with 3 teeth likes me, you know?
Yeah. I really like how you handle the trolls. I really like it. You face it head on and you just make fun of, you roast them.
Yeah, it's so easy.
And I love that. It's so easy and it's so entertaining and you it's like you're turning it into positivity.
Yeah. It's so fun. And it's mostly men, so it's very fun
it
for
is
me.
mostly men.
Yeah, they're so easy to roast. It's like you're bald.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all you need. Just say that and leave.
I love it. So when you were in Rochester, Trash Town, you're on your path there being all judgy and roasting everybody. And then how did that develop further for you as you got into your college years and beyond? What were the seeds of what you're doing now?
So I moved from one trashy place to another. In high school, I moved to Florida. Shout out to bath salts.
Hey,
ever since, when I was 13, 14 in Florida, we finally got cable because we didn't have it in New York. And I discovered Comedy Central and I discovered stand-up. And that planted a seed really quickly. I would watch these Comedy Central half-hour presents of some comics that are still working today. And it's like, I was like, what is this? This is what I want to do. Because I really always, ironically, grew up on Jim Carrey movies. Because at the time, Jim Carrey comedies were everything.
The best.
Every comedy you saw was a Jim Carrey film for, 5-6 years. It was like crazy.
Yeah.
So I knew that I really liked comedic acting and for some reason could pull these faces like him. But when I saw stand-up, I was like, oh, I can do that. That's fun.
Whoa.
And I would practice in my room and make up these really bad jokes and pretend to be a stand-up and, as a teenager. And just was too chicken shit. I went to college, hated school.
What'd you try to go for?
Business.
As
you do when you don't know what the fuck to do in college. You go, I'll just do business.
I would never think business.
Well, it's so generic. I think it was business management. It's like, it's just a step up from working at Wendy's,
Right.
But I remember being 18 and telling my dad, I don't want to go to college because he was really trying to sell me on college because he's, a guy who's like, you go to college, you get a job. You can be gay,
Did your sister
but
go?
don't be dumb.
You can be gay, but don't be stupid.
Yeah. And I was like, I really want to go to New York City and be a comedian. And he was like, okay, well, that's insane. And if you're an 18-year-old, they're idiots. Let's be real. 18-year-olds are just dumb. So, of course, he wasn't like, okay, let's do that.
Right.
So he convinced me to go to school, and I hated school.
Where'd you go?
UCF, which is Orlando.
Okay. Did your sister go to college?
No, she did not go to college.
Oh, God. So he had, all the pressure was on you because she had fucked it up.
Yeah, she wasn't academic either. She's fine now. She has a great job, proving you don't really need a degree.
No, you don't.
It's kind of a scammy thing. My brother went to college. He's probably the one that really enjoyed college the most. I kind of just white-knuckled it, barely did it. Always wanted to do stand-up, but as I got further into my 20s, I just got scared. Because it's almost like you do it when you're 18 and you're dumb.
Yeah.
And it rips the Band-Aid off. But as you get older and the more you put off a dream, it seems more daunting and scary than it is.
Yes, it does.
So every year that passed, it was like, I really want to do this. I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. But I'm scared. And finally, when I think I was 26. Took me to 26.
Wow.
Yeah, just working dumb jobs, like office jobs. And then I was like, I just got to do it. This is not my life. I hate this.
Isn't it interesting how we defer our desires and we spend energy and time trying to convince ourselves and talk ourselves out of it?
Yeah, and it's also you don't listen to what your dreams are or what you really want to do in life because you're scared of society or you're scared of people laughing at you or it's a waste.
Yeah. It's like the same thing as who are you trying to fit in with? Who's that judge? Who's that voice of judgment that's like, you need to do this by this age? Who are you? Mm-hmm. I think we make these things up more than they actually exist.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really just societal pressures and wanting to fit in with the Joneses. But luckily I don't, I reached a point where I was like, I don't want this life. I don't want to work till I'm 50, 60, probably 60 as a millennial. An office job Monday through Friday for comfort. It's stable. It's comfortable, but it's so uninspiring and so fucking boring. I'd probably end my life before I even finished out the job. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
and people do all the right things, and then it still doesn't work out, and then...
Yeah, it didn't seem right. So I just did it. I went to an open mic.
Where?
In Orlando.
Orlando.
It was some weird, hotel bar setup. Just perfect for an open mic. Just really bad.
Yeah.
And I just loved it. And I was like, oh, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I just kind of, put in the time and the work, which is, a lot of bullshit. I once did a show for, 2 years into comedy. I did a show for homeless people. And 3 of them got up and left to go back outside. That's how bad I was. So it's a lot of, that kind of stuff where you're like, somebody would rather be hungry outside
than listening to my comedy.
Yeah. So it's a lot of you got to develop thick skin,
Yeah.
And a lot of bad gigs, really bad gigs. People just think it's this overnight thing. And it's I've done the worst gigs, the best gigs. It's just, but I love it all,
Wow.
And you just kind of climb and gradually climb. And the thing with creative endeavors like this is it's not like a path to being a doctor. It's not like you do this, then you do this, then you do this, then you're a doctor.
Right.
That's what I love about creative careers. It's it could be anything.
Yeah. And
you make your own path.
Yeah, true. Sorry, there's a drill happening.
It's okay.
I'm at my dentist office right now.
Are you really?
Yeah. My dentist is a client of mine.
Oh my God, I love that.
And so I was here this morning, but I had all these things to do, so I just stayed here in one of his upstairs offices. Anyways, there's dental drills going on. So, wow. Okay, so homeless people are walking out on you. You're paying your dues. You're writing your own material. You've got this vision of what's possible because you'd been sparked by seeing the stand-up. And then when you did it, it just felt right. You were like, this is it. This is the vibe.
I always knew.
I always knew
it was once I do it, once I just do it. And it was so frustrating to not just be able to just go do it. But I was so scared.
Yeah. So what would you say to people that are still there, that are still back there, on the cliff, just trying to convince themselves to take the leap?
Just do it. I don't know. I don't have any good advice other than to just do it, you chicken shit. It's just, you're not getting any younger, and you can, everyone's going to die in the end. So just do it. Yeah. Nothing matters. That's been helping me. I mean, that's why I just have such a easygoing attitude about almost anything. It's whatever.
Yeah.
Nothing really matters. It's going to be okay.
It literally doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Just do whatever. No one is even looking at you or paying attention to you most of the time. Everyone's in their own world. Just do whatever you want.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. That's good advice. Nobody gives a shit.
Nobody gives a shit.
Well, now you... Okay, wait. I want to go back. So then social media happens.
Mm-hmm. COVID.
Okay. So what was that moment for you? You're saying COVID. Was it beginning COVID, 2020?
Yeah, probably towards the end of 2020.
Okay. Where did you go into lockdown?
I was in Orlando, so basically COVID didn't exist.
Right, yeah, because Florida didn't recognize...
after 1 week. Yeah, after 1 week, they were like, it's over, go back to Disney.
Yeah.
But, it was still the people who were sensible stayed in. I was staying inside. I wasn't listening to, people from Florida about anything. So,
right.
But TikTok was around. I was I had that mentality of, it's a child's dancing app. I'll never get on TikTok. And then you get so bored in COVID. You've seen all the Tiger King episodes that I was just I'll just mess with the children on TikTok. I thought they were all 12-year-olds. And
how'd that go?
I just posted about being Jim Carrey's daughter, and I didn't realize what TikTok was or how massive it was.
Was that literally the first video you put out?
The first video I put out was hey, TikTok, please help me find my long lost dad, Jim. he hasn't been answering my calls and I miss him. Like something like that. And it was just the face. And people really started believing it. I think I put up another video about it, and then I was like, all right, just kidding. Because it was getting to, like, people really believed it.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to, like, a cease and desist from Jim Carrey. I also didn't want to freak people out and make them think I was serious.
Yeah, so
I was just like, I'm a comedian. I just look like the guy, you know.
I don't want to ask you anything or talk about the Jim Carrey thing, because that's not, like, who you are at all. It's just a funny bit that you do, which is incredible, by the way. It's so entertaining when you do that, but it's just like one aspect of what you do. But I'm curious to know, like, personally, when you had that idea, I'm gonna do this spoof of being his daughter, was there any thought for you of, like, once I go here and officially do this, there's no going back? Were you afraid of it defining you?
No, because I'd heard it my whole life. I was so desensitized to it. So when I was 8 is when I started doing Ace Ventura for people, because that movie was out and I could do it so easily. Mm-hmm. And then throughout my life, I kind of heard it. I really wouldn't pull the face too much, you know, like, yeah, I can really pull it if I want to, but I wasn't doing that in normal life. And then when I started comedy, people would come up after my sets and be like, you know who you look like. I wouldn't do any Jim Carrey material on stage, but it's just natural. It's just if I smile or if I just have, you know. So I'd heard it my whole life. And I was like, why not just get attention this way? Because I've never played into it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because, like, I would never think that looking at you. But when you go into it, when you use it for what it is, it's brilliant. And I'm glad that you embraced it.
I was the one who brought it online. It would be weird for me now to be like, it's so annoying. I was the one who said, hey, world, look at my face, who I look like. You know what I mean? So for me to turn around and be like,
I love that. I love that. It's the same thing I'm talking about that you do with anybody who trolls. You just, like, you embrace it. You're a very embracing person to the things in your life. I don't know the ins and outs of your life, but you make it look easy of turning things into a positive for yourself. And that's resilience.
Yeah, girl.
That's resilience.
I am proud of my resilience, for sure. I think that's...
And you know what that is? It's joy.
Yes, resilience is joy.
And I think that's why I wanted to know you, is because it's it's a good feeling to be around you. You really make people feel good in your presence. And
Thanks, Lucy.
It's a powerful quality to have. So once that happened with the few videos you put out, where'd you go from there?
I think I played in, I would do like weird, like reenactments of his movie scenes that I would never do now, you know, looking back, but COVID made us do really weird things. Some people got married.
Yeah. Like me.
You know, COVID made us do weird things. I would play into that, but I figured out a way to just transition into my comedy and what I find funny within, like, I would say a year. Wow. I was doing a lot less. I look like Jim Carrey.
So at first were you doing straight up Jim?
Yeah, I think I was doing like side by side scenes of his movies, and I was doing like reenacting those scenes.
That's cool.
Really, is it? I just feel like that's incredibly cringy looking back. But I mean, it garnered me that following. Yeah, you know, it was just a different landscape on TikTok in 2020 as compared to now. It's like, I think if I did that now, the people that enjoyed it are people that probably should be under arrest for something. I don't know. There's just a different vibe now.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it.
But I just kind of like just transition into what I find is funny and what my humor is, and that's mostly what Instagram is built off of. That following is just kind of my comedy, which I enjoy, which is roasting and pop culture, and I grew up on Kathy Griffin and, you know, Joan Rivers, and that's kind of my style.
I can relate to you using that as a jumping off point. I've had to deal with my father being who he is while I'm an artist and a musician having my own career, but he's always mentioned before my name. You know, I just published my book last year, and all the headlines were Joe Walsh's daughter writes a book. And you got to embrace it, because
what else are you gonna do?
If that's my way in, fine. You know, if people learn about me and want to pay attention to me because of who my dad is, great. Come on into my world and see everything else that I'm doing.
Right.
And I think you're smart to have used it to your advantage.
Yeah.
Really smart, like brilliant, actually. Actually, I want to go into business with you, because that is good, very good business mind. And you have made it work brilliantly for you. And I forgot that you even do that. Like, it's not...
That's great. That's what I want to get people at.
Well, they are.
I think I'm noticing it. I used to get a lot of, are you that Jim Carrey lady? And now I get, are you Heather Shaw? So that's a good sign to me that people are like, oh, you know my name. Because people used to not know my name.
Right.
And that's fine. I'm not going to be like, excuse you. Do you know who I, like,
that's
I wouldn't
right.
do that. So it's nice to hear people go, are you Heather Shaw?
And if you're on TikTok, it's Heather Shaw with 4 W's.
COVID was a weird time.
What is the deal?
Like, Shaw. I don't know, girl. I've never changed it. I should probably change it.
Well, you don't need to, because now you're such a big deal that anywhere you type in your name, it's the first thing that comes up. So you're good. It's all good.
I feel bad. There's somebody else, a graphic designer or something named Heather Shaw in LA, I think, and she must be so mad. I can't imagine the emails she's getting. F you, Jim Carrey, bitch.
Yeah. Oh, God, you ruined her life. Good job.
Sorry, Heather.
Well, this might have to be a 2-parter, because I don't want to keep you too long today, but
I'm always coming. I'll come back anytime you want.
Hey, put me on your podcast.
Yes.
That would be really fun. That would be really fun. I want to know, as it relates to the title of my show, which is The Joyful Life Guide, what does a joyful life mean for you, to you? What does the word and concept of joy mean to you personally? Does it piss you off? Do you like it? Do you think about it? Do you not?
I don't think about joy a lot, but I think joy always reminds me of, like, that thing from Into the Wild, that guy, before he died in the bus, he wrote, happiness is only real when shared. And I think that's joy. It's like finding somebody that, you want to spend time with, like someone, your, significant other, falling in love, or having a good community or support system. I think joy comes from human interaction and sharing with someone else. You can't do it alone, kind of thing.
So true.
And freedom equals joy. It's very easy to be joyous when you have freedom. So
what does freedom mean to you?
Freedom means doing what you love and having for me, honestly, financially, it's financial freedom is huge. But being at the core, being able to do what you love and be around people that you love and being supported by people that you love, that all equals joy to me.
Yeah.
And no kids.
Agree.
Keep the kids away.
Agree.
Joy suckers. That's what I call them. Joy to me means child-free.
I like them when they belong to other people.
Yeah, see them in passing.
Yeah.
They're like cats. Hello.
Yeah, and then I can go home to my nice quiet house.
Yes, with doing what I want on my Saturday.
That's right.
Ugh.
Sleeping.
Ugh. Money.
Reading. Money. Yeah.
Silence. Freedom.
Free time. Oh, yeah, it's the best.
That's freedom, yeah.
Yeah. I also want to know about Lily. You are getting married later this year.
Yeah, girl.
Is that public knowledge?
Yeah. Yes.
You and Lily, you're in different realms. She's a lawyer. She just officially
official lawyer
became, and you are so busy with your touring schedule and your plans for television and all kinds of stuff. And how do you two navigate that?
Well, I do it because she's so supportive and she wants to see me win. She's not selfish. If she was selfish, she'd say, I want you home because I don't want to be alone. She's very supportive, and I am of her as well. But, it's all on her because I travel so much for her to be okay with it. And, it doesn't hurt to do nice things for her because I travel so much. Here's a spa trip. You gotta take care of her. You can't just be like, bye. Right. But I think it comes down to how supportive she is of my dream has now become her dream as well. So that matters.
Yeah.
You can't have somebody that's jealous or selfish. And if she wants to do stuff, I support her fully. It really comes down to that.
That's beautiful.
You want to see the other person win.
Yeah. I have a whole coaching workshop on intimate relationships. It's 3 things you got to have in place and question. What is my intention? Mm-hmm. What is my commitment to this relationship? Mm-hmm. And what is my capacity? Mm-hmm. And if those 3 things are in place, you automatically come from love.
Yeah.
You two are both clear on your intention with each other and your commitment to each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, big time.
And the capacity is something that you learn over time. You learn, this, you get to know each other over time, and the ins and outs of our capacity as humans is an interesting.
It changes, yeah.
Yeah, it does. It's moment to moment, and she's very joyful as well.
She's very joyful.
She's like joy in a cup.
I know. She's the sweetest. She's so kind.
Yeah.
There's no air of ego or snobbery, which you would expect from somebody so beautiful. Yeah. Honestly, I just always assume shallowness. There's no shallowness. She's just a good person.
God, we got to find something wrong with her.
I know. I wonder what her toes look like. I don't know.
And so when you're clear on those things, the daily communication is there. The calling each other from the road to say goodnight is there.
Absolutely.
I'll call you when I get off stage and all that.
Yes.
Automatically. It's automatically there when you're clear on your intention and your commitment.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's part of it. We want to talk to each other. We want to be in communication. We're constantly talking.
Yeah.
Texting, phone call in the morning, at night. It's because we want to. We want to show up for each other.
Yeah, it's the same with Will and I. He's currently on tour in Malaysia right now. But when you have a solid partner like that, I think for everyone, but as creatives, it gives you wings and you can fly and you can go out and do what you want to do because you know that you're safe to do it.
Yeah.
And the other thing I wanted to know is, how do you take care of yourself on the road?
Well, I have a traveling puppy now, and that really helps me with structure. She's a great traveler. She's very tiny. But it's really nice because I was pretty lonely on the road, and I wanted structure. I wanted something that I had to, take walks and wake up early and go and put my... Because, on the road, you kind of live like a teenager. You're, in bed. It's 1 a.m. You're eating candy.
Yeah.
And then you're sleeping in. I didn't want that. I'm in my 30s. I don't want that shit. So I don't drink anymore at parties. So that's my version of rebelling, I guess, is it's 1 a.m. I'm never up at 1 a.m., So I got her and she travels with me, and it's so nice to have that structure. And there's not much beyond that I need to reel myself in because I don't drink. I don't want to partake in any of that. Yeah. The hardest thing is probably eating because I'm vegan. So sometimes if I'm in Des Moines, Iowa, I'm just I'll have water.
It's so hard. Yeah. You have is a truck stop.
Yeah. And it's Cliff Bars and
it's rough. Eating on the road is rough.
That can be the hard part.
Yeah.
Even when you eat whatever, it's still if I was eating meat or whatever, it's still a lot of junk food and to find good. That's why smoothies are good. I like smoothies, and I just bring a lot of snacks of my own.
Yeah, vegan's a whole nother level of difficulty.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Wow. So tell us what you're up to, where we can follow you, and what you're doing for the rest of the year. You have a full tour schedule.
Yeah, I am constantly on the road. I love it. Going to a bunch of cities, but all the cities are at heathershawcomedy.com. Very easy. Heather Shaw is kidding on Instagram, and reminder, I'm kidding. Nothing I say is real.
It's a joke.
It's a joke, people.
It's a joke, guys.
It's a joke. I call Oprah a lesbian as a joke. It's maybe true.
I want to produce your television show.
Oh my God, I want one. I don't know what it'd be. It would just be me roasting celebrities, but it'd be fun.
It can be whatever you want. You've been planning it since you were 8.
Right?
Do you want to do movies?
Adult films?
Yeah.
Yes. It also looks like Jim Carrey. Yeah, I would like to do, movies, TV shows. Yeah, I just signed to a new agency, and they have a TV film department. So I'm excited to just audition and never hear back from anybody.
Yeah, it's great.
But to just be part
of that.
It's good
for your mental
process.
Health.
Yeah, I just need to do it. I just need to practice. I know I'm not going to, book things, but...
You're interested in scripted work?
Yeah. I love acting. I just never got into it because I hate theater kids.
Right.
So I've just been like, I can't put up with this.
So
I'll find a way.
What if I wanted to cast you in my new musical?
Well, I can't sing and I'm not gay enough.
We can get you lessons.
I don't tap dance.
I'm a music coach. I can teach you to sing.
Not this old hag.
All right, so we're sticking to non-musical films.
I can't do a musical. It just feels illegal. Yeah. No thanks. But I'll support you from the sidelines.
Well, I would really like to act with you sometime.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We should
I love
come up with something.
I would love that.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for talking with me. Anybody who hasn't seen you live, please check the website so you can just find out where Heather is, because her show is hilarious. And I also like that you travel around with other great comics and it's like a party.
Yeah, yep, a sober party.
Yeah, it was a sober party, but...
You just read Bible verses.
Is that what you do on the car drives between venues?
Sober raves, yeah.
How do you come down after a gig at night?
It takes me about an hour. I put on some Real Housewives. I'm good.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. I want drunk white women yelling at each other?
Yeah.
Gets me real sleepy.
Yeah. Have a couple carrot sticks.
What?
Carrot sticks. That's all you can snack on.
Oh, yeah. Carrot sticks, yeah. Munch on those. Watch the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Sounds hot.
He sleeps with me. It's great.
Sounds hot. What's your puppy's name?
Edie.
Edie.
Little Edie, like Grey Gardens.
Is she going to be your ring bearer?
No, she's not allowed. She'll poop. No one is pooping at the wedding. I don't think.
Well, lots of love.
Thank you, Lucy. I love you.
I love you too. Mwah.
Mwah. Take care.
Thank you for joining us on the Joyful Life Guide. You can connect with Heather Shaw at heathershawcomedy.com. You can follow her on all social media platforms, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Thank you for taking a moment to rate, review, follow, and share this podcast. You can connect with me on socials at The Lucy Walsh and join my coaching programs anywhere in the world at lucywalsh.com.